What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Joaquin Corrales, and in this video, we're gonna go over why my first 3 businesses ever failed. Okay, this was like 5 years ago. I was starting businesses left and right, and they completely failed. And it had to do with 3 main things, okay? 3 main reasons as to why they failed, and that's what we're gonna go over so that you guys do not do this, all right? So reason number 1 was that I thought this, okay? So I thought, just because I'm doing it, it's going to work, okay? It's going to work. I think this is going to work. Just because I'm doing it is going to work. What is English? I don't know. But anyways, this is kind of like the opposite of what a lot of people may potentially have, right? Like a lot of people aren't confident in themselves enough to think that their business is going to succeed. Well, I had a little bit of the opposite, which was that I thought just because I'm doing this, it's going to work. And there's 2 sides to it, right? The first side is that, okay, there's a lot of people out there that are doing this, but because it's me, right? Because I am good enough, right? I don't know based on what I thought that, because I had never started a successful business in the past. This is going to be awesome. Like, I'm going to make a lot of money because I'm doing it, and I'm potentially going to be doing it better than other people, right? And I mean, it was terribly wrong. My first business was a woman's boutique. All right, it was an e-commerce store actually. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. I started with my sister. We went to this place in downtown Miami, and we spent like $500. I spent $500. She spent $500, which was a lot of money for me. I mean, I was like 17 or something. And it was terrible because we ended up not making a single sale. So I remember setting up the online store. Oh, and a couple of other bad things that happened there was that I was trying to get everything too fast. And what I mean by that was that I tried to get all the equipment. All right, so we need a camera, we need the studio, we need all of this, not a studio location, but like a studio set. And so it was a lot of money invested in the beginning without having any return. And we ended up never having a return, so it sucked. But one of the things that you have to keep in mind there is that just because you're doing it does not mean that it's going to work. Okay, people that have more experience than you are potentially going to do better, and you have to do what's called like a lean startup, right? And what that means is that you have to do as little as possible in order to start making money back. And then once you're making money back, then you figure out how to reinvest it. But you don't want to start different businesses unless you have a ton of money that are high risk, and that you're gonna have to put a whole bunch of money in different things before you get any return, right? And even a business like that, like selling women's clothing online, you wouldn't think that you would have to put a lot of money into it. Like, I wasn't drop shipping, so I spent $500 on clothing, and then I thought it was a great idea to get a backdrop, right? A white backdrop to take pictures of women wearing the clothing and whatever. And we did a couple of giveaways, but we literally did not make a single sale. Like, I think all of the inventory that we bought for this online women's boutique is still like in my sister's house somewhere. So it was terrible. So just because I'm doing it, it's going to work? Absolutely not. And another side to this is kind of like that blue ocean strategy that this blue ocean strategy that a lot of people talk about. And what that is that a lot of people say, okay, when you're starting a business, you should start something that does not exist, right? And when someone says that, I'm like, what? Like, what are you saying? Like, there's a lot of people even today that give me advice on business, and they're like, dude, why are you gonna, like Contact Flow, for example, dude, why are you gonna start an email marketing software company when like MailChimp exists? Like, why would you do that? And I'm just like, exactly. Like, I'm starting it because of MailChimp, because MailChimp exists, right? Obviously, MailChimp is alive because they're making a ton of money, right? It's $1 billion market. If I could go into this $1 billion market and take a fraction of it, then I'm going to be well off, okay? I'm going to do well, okay? So I want to start businesses, and that's what I do today, that someone else is already doing. And the reason for that is that they're doing it because they're making money. I really don't want to create a company right now and a business based on an entire new concept in which I'm gonna have to put tons of money in there before anything comes back. So I want to do something, I want to model something that someone is doing and bring my own little side to it, my own competitive advantage as far as the skills that I have, right? So I have tons of skills as far as creating software, as far as managing development teams, right? And so I'm more than likely going to gear towards creating software, towards doing things with the internet, because I'm good with the internet, right? Like selling stuff online, running digital advertisement. Obviously, when you're selling stuff online, being able to run effective paid advertisement is a huge skill. So that's the other side to it. not only did I think, okay, I'm gonna do this and it's going to work because other people are doing it and I'm better, but you don't always want to start a company that in an idea with an idea that not a lot of people are doing. Like I don't even do that to this day. Now the second thing was that I thought, okay, I will become rich by spending less. And I remember reading this book once. It was, I think it was called The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco that taught me the specific thing. And it was that you don't become rich by spending less. You become rich by making more faster, okay? By making a lot more money faster. And so this really goes down to like my childhood, right? And the way that I was raised as far as how important money was, right? And the money mindset to me was that, okay, I have to make money, I had to make a lot of money, right? Because it's gonna allow me to live a better life, but I cannot spend it. Like I have to hold on to it. And it's coming at this from a scarcity mindset, right? Like that there's not enough money out there, that if I spend it, it could potentially not come back. So I'm not gonna spend it. And that held up my businesses a lot. And that's ultimately why my first 3 businesses failed. Reason number 2, because I thought I would become rich by spending less. So I didn't run digital advertisement at all, right? Because I would have to spend. Even though money would come back, I wasn't 100% sure of that. I didn't know how to run the advertisement. So I didn't really want to spend money at all. And that really hurt me like all throughout. Even when I first started running digital advertisement, that I was like, all right, Joaquin, you have to run ads if you want to make any money in this. Like it was really going past or going into an area that I did not feel comfortable in, because I had to spend money on something that did not have an obvious return, like digital advertisement. Like I wasn't entirely sure, was it going to work? I had just started, so it was freaking bad. And another thing is investing in people's programs. Like that is awesome. And the reason why that is awesome, and maybe to you guys listening, you're like, why would I spend $1,000, $500, $20,000? There's people that spend $1 million on different coaching programs and training programs. And it's because of the amount of time that it's going to save you, okay? You can't think of it from the aspect of the money. Like for example, if a program costs $3,000, you're going to have to think about whether the advice and the coaching and the mentorship that you're going to get from that is going to be worth the $3,000 when compared to the time that you're going to save, okay? So for example, you could not spend the $3,000 on training and you could go out there and figure things out on your own, or the 1,500, whatever, I'm just throwing a random number, and figure things out on your own. But one, it will more than likely cost you more money, right? Because you're going to have to figure things out, the whole trial and error, and it's going to cost you a lot of time, okay? And time is the most important thing because you cannot get it back. So would you rather lose a ton of money trying it and figure it out the hard way and spend a bunch of time? Or would you rather potentially invest in a program in which someone has already done it, they've already wasted the time, they've already wasted all the money, and they're going to allow you to skip all of that and go straight into exactly how you do it, right? And you save that much time. And when I understood that, then I started investing in programs and digital advertisement and the whole thing, because I wanted to not have to waste that huge amount of money that I was going to have to waste. It's literally wasting money when I could otherwise invest it into something, a program that teaches me how to do that and get there a lot faster. So this really comes down to my childhood, where the way that I was raised was from not a poor family, like a middle income type thing family, but it's from that scarcity mindset of, oh, I need a lot of money. I can't spend money, right? Spending money is bad. That was what was engraved. And that really hurt my my businesses. But once I learned that, it was like, wow, like, okay, like I could spend money. It's going to come back. I need to invest it in these things. I'm going to save this amount of time, which ultimately is worth a lot more money to me. So that was awesome. Now, way number 3 was delaying delegation, right? And this was really a big one, because when I first started my business, I thought that I would do like everything. Like I'll just do everything like forever, kind of, right? And later on, I'll figure out if I need a team, if I need more people, but I could just do everything in the beginning. And the real key for me here was figuring out where I excelled, right? So I excelled in one, development. I was really good at programming stuff, at being able to create an idea or formulate an idea and then bring it to something. And 2, I was really good at selling stuff. Running digital advertisement and selling stuff. I was really good at those things. Now, what you have to do is you have to figure out, there's going to be a couple of things that you're good at, better than the average person, right? Those were my 3: development, selling stuff, and running digital advertisement. I was good at it. It was awesome. Now, what can you give to someone else that's okay if they're great at it. If they're not amazing at it, but if they're great at it, or even if they are amazing, then awesome. And for me, that was development, right? So today, I do very little development. I delegate a lot of the development while managing it at a high level and kind of guiding the projects and that was a sock, and guiding the projects and making sure that they're headed in the right direction. Obviously, I still have all the expertise, so I'm able to do some development when it's needed. But because selling and running digital advertisement is something that needs to be done amazingly, right? If I can't sell stuff perfectly, or if it's not me selling stuff, if it's not me running the digital advertisement, then the business does not grow, right? And that's really another thing that caused my businesses to fail. And it was that I wanted to do everything, right? And that I spent a lot of time focusing on smaller things that did not give the most positive return on investment. Like, for example, I could start developing right now and create whatever I want. I could create any feature in Contact Flow, create a database, a mobile app, just absolutely anything. But what is going to make me the most fulfilled and ultimately bring the most amount of results and grow my business? It's not going to be development, because I could delegate that to someone else. It's going to be selling stuff, and it's going to be running digital advertisement and driving traffic, driving tons of targeted traffic to wherever I want. And guys, if you're really able to understand these three things, okay, just because you're doing it does not mean that it's going to work. You have to come at it from a humble approach and really take advantage of the trainings that are around you and what people are teaching and how they're teaching it, because it's for a reason, okay? Number two is I'll become super rich by spending less. You do not become super rich by spending less. You become super rich. You become rich by making more faster, okay? You make more money faster. Okay, and that's not to say, sure, crappy spending habits will mean that you never have money. Like, if you have terrible spending habits, then you'll never have money, because any amount of money that you make is just going to come back out. But if you understand that if you live a modest lifestyle as far as what you're spending, you don't spend crazy amounts of money on lavish stuff that you probably don't need, and you understand that you're gonna have to make more money faster, then you're going to become rich. Like, that's the idea. Like, you have to make more faster. Like, not going to Starbucks, like saying, I'm not going to go to Starbucks and spend $5 on this coffee because I want to become rich. It's not going to work like that. Like, you would have to not have coffee it literally doesn't make sense, because you would have to be a millionaire and then not have to spend the money. No, you just need to make more money faster, okay? And number three, delaying delegation. So as soon as you guys are able to recognize where you bring the most to the table as far as your business, that has the highest ROI, okay? Because I'm a really good developer, but I'm also really good at selling. And how do we get the highest ROI in our business? How do we grow our business? By me developing or by me selling? It's by me selling. So I need to sell stuff. I need to run digital advertisement. Then you guys need to start doing that as fast as possible. And this is ultimately what caused my businesses to fail, as well as what caused my businesses to succeed, right? Understanding these three key points is what allowed my companies, most of the companies that I started after this, to be a lot more successful, a lot faster, okay? So guys, I'm not sure what day is this in the 180-day challenge, but we're doing giveaways every single week. Make sure you guys hit a like, hit a comment down below on if you guys have gone through one of these things here, maybe something similar as you're starting your different businesses. And if you did fail, if you had a business that failed in the past, and shoot down in the comments why you think it failed. Like, I really want to know why you guys think your business has failed. These are one of the top 3 reasons why mine did. Understanding this grew my company exponentially. Hit a like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.